Hello. I've got some exciting news. First of all, I must say, it's a very exciting day to be speaking with you, all of you that may be watching this video. You see, there are many coincidences surrounding my birth record that qualifies me to come up with these conceptual ideas to alter the timeline we currently live in for the course to aid all through their course in life and to aid the timeline regarding even possibly that of Earth itself, our body. We are the cells and the body is the planet. Remember that as I speak. Great. Okay, here we go. Today is 2/12/2017. Yes, it's February 2nd, February 12th, 2017. Here are the coincidences that pre-qualify me. Please do not judge me. Only one can be a judge. Okay? I'm bananas for being a bicycle advocate. I shop oftentimes and get my maintenance work done at Shellers here locally. Here's a plug for Shellers. Anyway, I hope we all hope to be the light of the world. Yes, the light of the world. Now, here we go. My name is Ives, I-V-E-S, 4 letters. I'm here to aid many lives. My name is Aiden, A-I-D-N, 5 letters. I'm here to aid many lives through the walk in life. Last name is Sandol, S-A-N-D-O-L, 6 letters. If I lap in alphabetical order after my last name, T-U-V-W-X-Y-Z, 7 letters. Now, my mother was 27 years old when I was born. You flip that number around and get my birth weight, 7 pounds, 2 ounces. 27 plus 72 equals 99. 99 plus 7 equals 106. Born at 1:06 p.m. Now, how did I come to know these coincidences around my birth record? And there are more. The town and county I was born was Barnstable. Barnstable pronounced, but if you separate the 2 words, it's Barnstable. Now, my mom and dad both met in art teachers college. So it's not for creativity. Barnstable and number 7 not be alive today. Sound familiar? Kind of like the Bible record, huh? God created the world 6 days, 7th day he rested. Man's number 6. God's number 7. My number, the time I was born, 1:06 p.m. Now, here is something else too you must think about. The Bible says the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Everlasting for first name. In fact, if you put the L, the letter L, in front of my first name, I-V-E-S, you get the word lives, L-I-V-E-S. Is it that Ives is here to aid many lives through the walk in life? Because Sandol's almost spelled the same way, S-A-N-D-O-L, not A-L, but my last name is S-A-N-D-O-L. In fact, there was an A at the end of my name, but my grandmother on my father's side, Jolene Shikram, my father's mother, had the A taken off to keep my father from being teased in school as an Italian. I understand not that I've done their study through checking my tree officially, but I understand I'm 1/4 Italian. Now, here is some more factuals that you must know. How did I come to know the coincidences around birth record, which I hinted about a moment ago? I left 165 miles north of Chicago in 1992 from South Haven, Michigan, where I was living. I was driving a 1965 International 1-ton dually pickup truck. Well, my truck broke down at just outside of Brooks, Kentucky, which is what? 165 miles north of Chicago. 7 miles just outside of downtown Louisville, Kentucky. Well, my father's middle name is Lewis. My grandmother on my mother's side, and that was Sally Erdman, she said, "Why did you pick Kentucky?" I said, "I didn't pick Kentucky. My truck broke down. My truck picked Kentucky." She said, "Well, you got relatives buried in Kentucky." Now, further on down the road, I don't remember what year, I was 34 years old when it happened. I was living in Treasure Island subdivision. The Barnstable seal depicts a sailing vessel. It says 1639, adopted May 4th, 1889. I was living in Treasure Island subdivision here in Louisville, Kentucky. And there's a Maynard Street that leads into the subdivision. My father went by Maynard as an art teacher in Hackerstown, New Jersey, not by Mr. Sandal. This Maynard Street that leads into the subdivision, it when you took a left off of Blue Lick Road, just underneath the Gene Snyder, the Gene Snyder Bridge, that runs east and west. If you took it all the way to east, you'd be where my father taught high school art, in Hackettstown, New Jersey, where the M&M's factory is. They added blue to the M&M's since I moved to Kentucky, and it's Blue Lick Road. It connects with Maynard Street that leads into the Treasure Island subdivision here in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, check this out. It was a Morton storage building when I discovered these coincidences. Morton salt, when it rains, it pours. Ha ha. Now, it's very interesting, isn't it? 1/4 of the Morton storage building was finished off into an apartment. That's the human equivalent of a barn stable. Yes, when you walk into my apartment and you walk out the one door, you would see the barn above your head. And so it was the human equivalent of a barn stable living in the Morton storage building, metal pole building. And it was a red building, just as the 65 International 1-ton dually pickup truck, the cab was red, also painted red. So anyway, and I was 34 years old and discovered the coincidences 3 + 4 = 7. So these are many coincidences surrounding the discovery of the coincidences surrounding my birth record. Well, all of this tends to make me believe over the years that I am predestined to aid all humankind down a new path in life. So I felt it my responsibility to come up with some very creative ideas to alter the timeline for the good of humankind and for that of Earth, and to help the human race open its third eye. Yes, open its third eye. What I mean by that, what I mean by opening the third eye, it's as a record in our Bible that the apostles raised the dead in Jesus' name. I surmise that to be in the teaching of Jesus. I believe that it is a possibility that mere humankind, human beings, not born without sin, not born as the Son of God, mere human beings like you and I, were taught by Jesus that this basic principle, that thought is matter and matter is thought, that's all that matters. How to open the third eye. In other words, that the mind has the ability, the brain has the ability, the brain is the physical matter between the ears. Remember, the mind is the fact that all brains are connected together. The brain has the ability to change physical matter. Henceforth, the proof, the apostles raised the dead in Jesus' name. I believe that maybe in the teaching of Jesus. Maybe there is some scientific methodologies and scientific principles of how to focus one's mental energy to change physical matter, and that's my belief. As in the movie rating system, this becomes a serious situation if you believe what I have just told you, even a little bit. You see, the movie rating system works like this. XXX should be GGG with certain rules and parameters. Why? Because XXX movies are the creating potential to create a life. Now, rated R, for example, watching somebody's head get graphically chopped off with a chainsaw, should be XXXX to infinity, because no one should watch somebody's head get graphically chopped off, because you mess up the mind when you watch that stuff. And the definition of the word mind is the evidential, scientifically proven fact that all brains are connected together. So why would anyone want to watch that stuff? And why is Hollywood pumping out stuff like that? Because it makes money. Listen, money isn't everything as a society. It can be the ruination of a nation and the world. Money can be a great tool for good, and it can be a great tool for bad. So we must focus on the good in life. If I have a cup of water in my hand, okay, let's say this is a cup of water. It is a can, but let's say it's halfway. Is this half full or half empty? This can. Is it half full or half empty when it's halfway? Well, your friends, your society in general, your school teachers and your TV media, well, I'll tell you it's half empty. Well, if it's half full, you'll be creative what you have to get more. If it's half empty, you're always complaining what you don't have, and it's like there's a hole in the cup. Okay? And it's like you don't get to keep what you have if you're focused on what you don't have. But if you're grateful for what you have, you can be creative with what you have because you're not stressed out about what you don't have, and you can get more. Does that make sense to you? Good. Gratitude attitude is everything in life. Negative self-talk is more than just negative self-talk. It can be self-reprogramming for failure or success. When people make the statement, I'm not a techie, I can't learn things on the internet. Well, you can't. If you lie to yourself and say, I am not a tech, I can be a techie, I just haven't studied yet, and I want to be a techie, and I will be, well, maybe you will be more likely because you're using positive self-talk. And this works for everything. Well, anyway, now that we've gone through the coincidences surrounding my birth record, and I may come up with some more, I want to tell you this. This is very important. I have a definitive plan to alter the timeline, like I said in the beginning, to alter the timeline for the good humankind, and here it is. There shall be highlighted in a movie the wind tunnel interstate system for bicycles only, with solar panels and wind turbines to provide the wind for the bicyclist. I want to set up guaranteed commissionable financing for the Trek Bidone 9.9. The Trek Bidone 9.9 currently retails at $14,000. Now, guaranteed commissionable financing just means this. If you're turned down for the financing, you apply for second chance financing, whereby you become a marketer for the bicycle. You have 7 to 12 people through your referrals being approved for the financing on that $14,000 Trek Bidone. As they make their financing payments, you earn a commission on each financing payment to pay your financing payments. Henceforth, you could get the bicycle for free and go beyond the 7 to 12 people, for example, that would be required through your referrals to pay for your bicycle. Other people approved for the financing on a $14,000 Trek Bidone 9.9. Then guess what? You own the bicycle free and clear. Now, why do I pick the Trek Bidone 9.9 to be possibly the only bicycle to be ridden in the wind tunnel interstate system bicycles only? Because it's the lightest, stiffest, fastest, most aerodynamic bicycle on the planet. Yes. And you deserve the best, because your health and longevity and quality of life is more related to exercise, is nutrition. This is a conclusion, not a delusion, because various university studies have made this statement as to be a factual statement. Yes, a factual statement. So, now where are we going with all of this information? Well, how about Timeline Pictures, Timeline Productions, New Reality Pictures, New Reality Productions, a new movie production company? Either strike out on my own, with other people assisting me, of course, or we combine forces with some existing, which I prefer, existing movie production companies to make a new movie production company. Now, what I'm talking about here is what you see in the movie or in the movies shall be financed from the people coming to the movie to make what you see in the movie reality. That's why we have the name Timeline Pictures, Timeline Productions, New Reality Pictures, New Reality Productions. This is my plan to alter the timeline for the good humankind. Now, I must state some other things too. In order for a person to open their third eye, in other words, your intuition, your ability to think beyond most average, read people's minds, float a cup off the counter into your hand, that type of thing, opening the third eye, one must be physically fit through exercise and physically fit through nutritional technologies. Well, that's why I've come up with the conceptual idea for a new type of transportation, the wind tunnel interstate system for bicycles only. Now, we have wind being created from the electricity being gathered through solar and wind turbines. Now, how about having more wind turbines catching the wind inside the wind tunnel interstate system for bicycles only, so we can even further lower manufacturing costs? Yes, I said it. As the wind tunnel interstate system goes through every town in America, it can send power to local utilities, lowering manufacturing costs. Henceforth, America becomes the world's leader in manufacturing because we have a physically healthy America, and we're lowering manufacturing costs on an electrical basis with no need to buy into the fact that we should build more nuclear power plants. Really, we should shut them all down, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to talk about that right now. What I must say is that we are in a crisis point here in America and around the world. The purpose for humankind is to focus together as one brain called mind. Remember, the definition of the word mind is all brains connected together. If all brains were to connect together, for example, and using the technology that Jesus taught the apostles, how to raise the dead, use the powers of mind, if we use that technology to focus our mental energy to prevent, let's say, for example, a major environmental catastrophe like a volcano or an earthquake, Could that be possible? And if we were to, would that prove our humanhood or our godhood? Humankind is the type of species we are we kind-hearted? Let me give you an example of what I just said. Humankind is the type of species we are we kind-hearted? I'll give you an example. Ives Aidan Sandal, here to aid all through the walk in life, born in the town and county of Barnstable, Massachusetts, here to aid the masses. Ives, how many children do you have? I must answer that with a question, huh? How many children are on planet Earth? See, it's my right, my honor, my privilege, and my responsibility to have the same empathy, compassion for every human being on the planet as if each and every human being is my own flesh and blood. So when you can tell me how many children there are on the planet, I'll tell you how many children I have. You see, that's how it works. You see, now, I also hope and endeavor to relaunch what is in standby mode, a new form of advertising media, Star Toilet Paper. And the reason I endeavor to relaunch Star Toilet Paper, advertisements on toilet paper, is because a new form of advertising media just makes sense. And we will need that to further bring special advertising to the new movie production company, Timeline Pictures, Timeline Productions, New Reality Pictures, New Reality Productions. You see, there's one more facet I haven't told you yet. When you come see my movie or my movies, hopefully our movies, if you want to join me in this endeavor, don't lose a ticket stub. The ticket stub is worth its weight in gold. See, the ticket stub ID number that's on the ticket stub, you give that to your family or friends or anyone on the internet. And when they physically go see the movie in the movie cinema complex and sit their seat in that movie theater, you will get paid. So when we register our name and our address and our contact information, we go see the movie, that allows us to be paid when we give out that ticket stub to other people that want to go see the movie. This will make this movie production company one of the most glorious, richest movie production companies on the planet. See, people think that we can fix all our problems by taxing the gross national product, the GNP. Sorry, too far in debt, too far down the path of stupidity as a nation, as a world, to make that happen. But the movie cinema industry, there's hope in that area. Yes. Especially if and or when we utilize the best sound and light technology to reach the people where they make the connection between the heart and the mind and bring the two together as one. This is what's necessary. How do we bring the heart and mind together? Because of the sounds and because of the technology to reach you on a subconscious level, you will cry tears of joy when you